Okay, there's no headphones. No headphones now. Bad audio. Okay, good. It's better. Okay, great. Fuck. 100%. The things are looking good. Things are looking good on the bicarbonate. I'm gonna have to do some more tests. I don't even have. I got a sample that's not dry, so I can't set it off. I'm not gonna be able to do it tonight. But I ran some of that batch through bicarbonate with it was a bicarbonate with acid, with an acetic acid, and it came out with a white precipitate. So it's either the bicarbonate is coming out, or that's RDX. Now, RDX is white, so that's a good sign. And what I put in there was yellow, and there ain't no more yellow anymore. Apparently, I've aged years in 6 months. Well, we're all aging all the time. One guy is a Fed informant and he's drunk. Be careful what you say to him. Oh, cool. Cliff got some chickens. Good deal. I think the chickens go a long ways. Yeah, I'm just burning this phone out before I go to sleep. I'm gonna I'll probably have this phone for like another 4 days or something. Somewhere around there. Yeah, goats are good. I'll probably get goats now. I've held off because I'm working. Oh, this smells like a goat. Messages is choppy. Yeah, 55 guys. Okay, so the 50 guys. This isn't on you, Cliff. This is just everybody. 55 gallons. Like, man, you guys are. If you're putting back water, anything that you can put back is good. Even if you're just taking a jug, if you just have a gallon of water, that's good. People go through a lot of water. People go through a whole lot of water. A lot of people go through like 4,000 gallons a month in consumption. Okay, so just be aware of that. It's better to have excess water. There's plenty of water to go around if you get it. If you don't get it, there's not plenty of water to go around. Obviously, you can reduce consumption if you have to, like if you run out of water and shit. RDX DMT. Pow! Wow! I think that's just called death. That's like where you die. I mean, it's just super intense. It just blew up with RDX. Yeah, chickens are a compound asset. It's a compound asset for sure. Gardener advice. Or gopher advice. I don't know. Probably wire. I'd probably put wire in the ground. Or do a raised bed. No, rabbits are not easier than chickens. Rabbits are harder than chickens. What kind of advice can you throw at a 22-year-old who wants property, get away from the government, and raise some chickens? The first thing I would say is that you need to think small. Like, the best thing is what it's like. You ever heard the saying of like, when you got money, then you can invest it. You know, so it's like it's better to have money now than have more money later. It's better to have a little bit of money now so you can make your money work for you. It's the same way with the idea of independence. My only regret is that I didn't go, like, I've never gone far enough. Like, I'm just always thinking like, oh, if I would have just done this, like, you know, I would have saved so much pain. You don't, the ideals of stuff, forget about all that shit. There's no ideal. There's no perfect. There's no ideal. All you need to do is secure a piece of land and have something to sleep in, and be willing to go through the you know, the process of like building stuff. If you have a piece of land that you can own and build on, like, you're not gonna have an HOA tell you no. You're not, you know, it's your land. Nobody cares about it except you. If you got that, and if you got something to sleep in that's going to keep you warm and dry, and if you got a vehicle to go back and forth, then, you know, the only thing that's against you is like time, basically. What I mean is that like, I shouldn't have got, you know, when you're looking for property, a lot of people look for houses and stuff. That's what I did, like a house with a property. Yeah, that works okay. But the reality is like, you just got to get a place. So just, you know, I mean, I've been on Craigslist and shit and seen people give away single wide trailers for free on Craigslist that are not, I mean, it's a fucking floor with a, you know, a box with some very minor insulation. But it's, you know, it'll keep mosquitoes out. It's rainproof. It's easily repairable. It's made out of like fiberglass and fucking sheet steel. You can transport it. You just need to rent. You can rent like a trailer and transport it to your spot. There's lots of ways to go a long ways. A lot of this stuff, people throw away a lot of stuff, you know. I mean, fuck, you see this computer over here? Man, you see that computer right there? I got that out of like 3 people's trash cans over a year. So I got a monitor, a keyboard, and a tower. 3 separate trash cans on trash day in like a year, from just like, I grab the keyboard, you know, and then just throw it in a fucking shelf and wait. Find this, that. I think I even have speakers for that I got from work. They were gonna have to throw them away. Now, when times get really tough, there's gonna be a lot less that's getting thrown away. But for now, it's everywhere. And I mean, people throw away trailers, people throw away campers, people, or give away, you know. You can also, if you're not, if you're personable, if you're a personable person, you can fucking drive. Like out here, there's shit like the people have a lot of property out here, but they're not wealthy or anything, but they got a lot of property. So sometimes they just forget what they have, and you'll have a dude that'll have like, 8 trucks and like 6 trailers on his property, all dilapidating and like just gonna melt into the ground. And you can see stuff like that along the highway and stuff. You can always, in a respectful way, figure out who somebody is that has a bunch of stuff and be like, hey, can we, like, what kind, give him a deal that's enticing, like, offer him to buy some shit for cheap or whatever. I mean, there's so many options. This system makes you think that everything's cut and dry and black and white with options, and that you have to, it like makes your mind square like a box. And the reality is that it's very bendable. Everything's bendable. Somebody says chickens are greater than goats, sheep are greater than cattle. I can see that. I mean, it just don't depend. I mean, I can tell you that fucking cattle can be a lot of work, but sheep can be a lot of work too. It depends on what kind of sheep you get. It depends on their temperament and shit. It depends on if you're selling wool or what kind of sheep they are. I mean, you gotta like fucking cut sheep toenails and shit. So they're still kind of a pain in the ass. They are a lot less, prone to disease and shit than cattle. I mean, it depends on what the definition of great is. Cattle's good because you can just feed them and then, harvest them, and you have like, a lot of meat there in one shot. Most people that do cattle, though, are doing it for money. They're not really doing it out of there's still people that do it for just to have food. I mean, there's lots of people like that, but most of the big cattle, like if you see a big cattle farm, it's like they're selling head of cattle, But chickens and goats, I could see that. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, goats. If you need a lawnmower, goats would be better than chickens. Although I don't know, I've like strategically closed all my chickens in an area to kill the grass, and they do pretty good. It takes a few weeks. So I guess they can the chickens can really do it all. The big thing about chickens is that they're so independent. I mean, well, fuck. I mean, a goat's independent too. I don't know. It's tough. They lay eggs, though. Goats don't lay eggs. Eggs are a big deal. They're not a big deal in the grocery store because they're like, I don't know how much eggs are, like $1 or something. What do they cost in the store? I don't know. Whatever they cost is not the value of eggs. Eggs are higher value than that, Like an egg is like, you could eat eggs and live. And you got them on your property, they keep for a long time. You can, if you separate them from oxygen exposure, you can keep them for a long time. If you pickle them, you can keep them for a really long time. Fuck. I hope not. I don't know. I clear the fucking hard. I mean, I go straight Debian, so I just wipe the motherfucker. You know, I mean, it wipes everything. It's not the same. You know, it's not the same operating system. I think that one. I have turned it on before, and it's totally. You know, they stripped every. I mean, they cleared everything out. They reset everything. They pulled their operating system out too. There's no porn on it. There's probably artifacts of porn in the hard drive probably. Who knows? I'm not like a forensic technician for fucking hard drives. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna wipe the motherfucker and put Debian on it and put some like radio programs and radar programs and Excel and probably like a Word doc. Probably a couple of calculation tools. That's about it. And then PDFs and a PDF reader to read PDFs. And then just a web browser that has nothing in it but black.com is just locked on there. So when you turn it on, it just goes away. Fuck, man. Dude. Man, you know what I was thinking about today? It was like, whenever the conflict comes, hang on, I'm gonna turn on this fan. It's cool enough now. Fuck, dude, I'm just gonna burn this shit and see what. This is a very small residue. Very small residue. Oh, I just want to see what we're working with here. I just want to see if that's even a possibility with something that simple. Because we're trying to go simple here. The peroxynitrite will work. It'll work. If this doesn't work. And that's equally as simple. It's just a different order. It's basically just a different order of, shit. Motherfucker. Broke the damn handle off this thing. Now I have to use pliers. Okay. All right, you want to see it? Hang on, let's see if we. Actually, I don't know how to aim the phone there, so you don't get to see it. It's hard to tell. I'm gonna say no. We'll revisit that one. Yeah, so somebody says self sufficiency should be on people's minds. Yeah, it should be, but it's not, and you know that's fine too. It doesn't have to be. It's not like I mean, you want to if we really look at it in a way that's objective, right? It's like this, okay? It's like this with money and people and things like that. Everybody is like people are supposed to be here on the planet, right? And so you know when you're here on the planet, you're not here to be fucked over by another person. That's that's not why you're here. It's not the purpose of being here. The purpose of being a human being is not to swindle your fellow man or to squeeze him out of his inheritance or to like send him into destitution down the road. That's not the point of humanity and why humanity's here. But that is what is happening, uh, and it's like spreading, and the society and their material obsession is simply a thin veneer that has no substance. Not only in the in the abstract sense, in the you know philosophical sense, but in the physical sense too. Like the material is cheap. You know, the building materials are becoming cheaper and less robust by the decade. The parts and components of things that they use are becoming less reliable and less useful by the decade. They're breaking earlier, they're cheaper, they're mass produced and mass distributed. All of these things are products of the way that the system is. And because people are supposed to be here on Earth, there's plenty of room on Earth for people, for whoever's supposed to be here. Whoever's not supposed to be here is like not going to have room, and that's or they're not gonna make room for themselves to to live and exist, where it's like I don't have to tend to myself. I let someone else do it, right? I let someone else tend to me. I do this other thing that isn't taking care of myself or whatever, and I assume they're gonna do it. That's how you get people in living in shoeboxes and loving it. That's how that's how you get conscription. That's how you get deferment of suffering and passing around the the debt of humanity. That's what it is. I mean, because that's what money is debt. There's another word for debt, and that's servitude. So there's plenty of space on Earth for the people that are supposed to be here, that should be here, that would be here, right? How do I know that? Well, there's plenty of space because if there wasn't space, you get fucking killed. Like you die. You have an ecological crash. You run out of food. Disease shoots through a population because you have like too many people. If you don't have enough people to cover the planet, you just grow, right? You keep reproducing and spreading, and then you're gonna have like the piece of land to take care of yourself. You're gonna have the resources to take care of yourself. If you don't, you die, right? Or you don't reproduce, and then somebody else takes it, right? But that's not really where we've gone. Where we've gone is like this apex system where it's just creating a steeper bell curve, you know. And there are so many people that do not have the ability to, like by choice, they don't have the ability to keep themselves alive, you know. And so uh, the entire thesis of the modern society is that, in a nutshell, I need someone else to keep me alive. If someone else is keeping you alive, there's another name for that: debt. Debt, there's another name for that: servitude. And that is humanity's position, is servitude. And just because you're in servitude doesn't mean that you somehow deserve to be here, right? Like just because you agree that it's a good system to let somebody else take care of the things that you should be taking care of yourself. Why should you be taking care of yourself? You should be taking care of things for yourself, ideally, in the philosophy of the existence, the existential question, right? You should be taking care of yourself, because if you don't, then it's nobody else's fault except yours. You can have cops or politicians or fucking HOAs or boards, commissions, whatever. They could talk all day about how they're gonna provide you with a greater standard of living. They're gonna defend your security. They're gonna defend your freedom. They're gonna keep you safe. They're gonna keep the society productive. This is a productive system. Yada yada yada. It doesn't matter what's said. It matters. Reality is what matters. The entire thing is presupposed that they're going to be able to provide all of those things all the time, but it's a person's responsibility, because if the person is using all of these resources, all of this servitude, and the function he relies on does not provide, right? The United States goes bankrupt. People are too busy doing other shit. Downsizing of staff, natural disaster, cataclysmic failure, chain reaction, compound failure, whatever. When those police can't come, when the politicians can't write a law that works, when all these things, when the food trains quit shipping, when the money quits moving, and so shit gets fucked up and only goes to certain places that are very small nodes around the country for the food network instead of all the places they used to go. Who pays for it? Who's responsible for it? Are they responsible for it? Fuck no, they're not, because they're gonna be still living when you're not. When they don't bring you your food, when they don't make good on the water they're supposed to get to you, when they don't make good on any promise that they make, are they responsible for it? No, you're responsible for it. Meaning that you are responsible for the consequence of not taking care of that shit yourself. Just like you were responsible for the consequence if you just fucking like live out in the woods and don't take water into any consideration. So you just have no storage of water or anything, and then there's like a drought, and then you die of starvation, die of thirst, right? Is that the rain's is it the rain's fault that you died? It's your fault. So the future of society is that this battle between being responsible for yourself and being in servitude, which is also known as somebody else providing things for you, right? They're not responsible if they don't bring it, and in most cases, they're not even going to act responsibly. Maybe they'll throw some money at you if they fuck something up, but that's it. You get an insurance policy, that's it. They're not going to make it good. They're not going to do it. They're not going to. It doesn't mean that they did in the first place. They come back and pay insurance. It's not like it magically undoes that they didn't do it. Half the time, they don't even want to do that. If they don't come through with your food supply, if they don't come through with your water supply, who pays for it, them or you? You. How are you going to make them pay for it? You're going to go to court? It's their court. They're not going to pay for it. You're going to fucking pay for it in the end. You might win something really small now, so you can have a hedonistic lifestyle, second to second, no planning. Fucking like, I just eat at Taco Bell 3 times a day. I leave like when I'm hungry. It happens to be lunch. I get to Taco Bell, they feed me, Dog food. It's your consequence. It's your responsibility. Things that are your consequence are your responsibility. Society is going to get to the point where you basically have a division of who's going to provide for themselves and who's going to get provided for by the global centralized system. Right now, society as a whole isn't really able to break away, but it'll come. It'll come eventually. It's going to be a lot more. It's going to be a lot more people breaking away. It's going to be a big problem for them. Oh, this is what's crazy, right? So whatever hardcore war comes, because something's coming, right? Whatever the hardcore war comes, the way that it will be fought in eventuality, maybe not right up front, probably most likely in the beginning opening stages of the war, you're going to see conventional thought in warfare. Then it's going to be unconventional in terms of like the response from the state, where they're using like, the overwhelming technological advantage and money supply advantage to defeat you with technology and minimum effort. That's the first step. But what's going to happen? That's going to be really successful. But what it's going to do is it's going to open people's eyes up to like people that are resisting, and then go through a black eye period where they're like, wow, they just killed like all my guys, with a drone or whatever. They're going to come to the realization that what they're really fighting is the entire support system. You're not fighting an army. You're not fighting, you're not fighting the United States government. You're fighting a hostage taker's booby trap that he implanted into the society, which is the money system. That is what you're fighting. You're fighting the entire, like web of distribution of control through money. That's what you're really fighting. And so if guys fight long and hard enough and live long enough,